death, let's cover the big question. Life after death. Surely this is the big question we're all asking ourselves. What happened to our souls after death? Is there heaven and hell? If there isn't, what's the point of anything? What is the purpose of life if always ends in death? Why are we here? The questions regarding this topic are endless, but maybe there is a light in the end of the tunnel. You see, many people had experienced what we call near-death experience, and some of their testimonies might be the answer to the question, is there life after death? Near-death experiences are reported by about 17% of those who near die. Those experiences have been reported by children, adults, scientists, physicians, priests, ministers among the religious, and atheists, and from many countries throughout the world. While no two near-death experiences are the same, there are characteristic features that are commonly observed in all cases. These characteristics include a perception of seeing and hearing apart from the physical body, passing into or through a tunnel, encountering a mystical light, intense and generally positive emotions, a review of parts or all of their prior life experiences, encountering deceased loved ones, and a choice to return to their earthly life. But near-death experiences is not the only theory that suggests life carry on after the moment we die. This second phenomenon is called reincarnation, and although reincarnation is like heaven and hell tied to religion, there are undoubtedly hundreds of people who remember parts of their past lives. Today I'll cover a few of those experiences with you, and I'll let you decide for yourself if there is life after death. Hello my friends, this is unTYpical Stories and my name is Julian. Please, if you like my videos, consider subscribe to my channel with the bell so every time I upload new video, you would get notified. And if you like this video, please smash this like button, it would be greatly appreciated. Now let's find out if there is life after death. An incredible investigation into life after death has found thousands of people who have distinct memories of living a past life, including the gruesome details of their supposed death. For the past 20 years, Dr. Jim Tucker, now the director of the Division of Perceptual Studies, has focused mainly on cases found in the United States. His book Return to Life offers accounts of very strong American cases of young children who remember previous lives. One of those cases is Ryan Hammond's, who had verifiable memories of being a Hollywood extra and a talent agent. Ryan's mother had the following to say: "When Ryan was 4, he began directing imaginary movies. Shouts of action often echoed from his room. But the play became a concern for Ryan's parents when he began waking up in the middle of the night, screaming and clutching his chest, saying he dreamed his heart exploded when he was in Hollywood." His mother asked his doctor about the episode's night terrors. The doctor said he'll outgrow them. Then one night, as his mother tucked Ryan into bed, Ryan suddenly took hold of her hand. "Mama," he said, "I think I used to be someone else." He said he remembered a big white house and a swimming pool. It was in Hollywood, many miles from his Oklahoma home. He said he had 3 sons, but that he couldn't remember their names. He began to cry, asking his mother over and over why he couldn't remember their names. "I really didn't know what to do," she said. "I was more in shock than anything." He was so insistent about it. After that night, he kept talking about it, kept getting upset about not being able to remember those names. I started researching the internet about reincarnations. I even got some books from the library on Hollywood, thinking their pictures might help him. I didn't tell anyone for months. One day, as Ryan and his mom paged through one of the Hollywood books, Ryan stopped at a black and white, still taken from a 1930s movie. Night after night, 2 men in the center of the picture were confronting one another. 4 other men surrounded them. His mother didn't recognize any of those faces, but Ryan pointed to one of the men in the middle. "Hey mama," he he said. "That's George. We did a picture together." His finger then shot over to a man on the right, wearing an overcoat and a skull. "That guy's me. I found me." The book didn't provide any names of the actors pictured. She quickly confirmed that the man Ryan said was George in the photo was indeed a George Ruff, an old but forgotten film star from the 1930s and 1940s. Still, his mother couldn't identify the man Ryan said had been him. She wrote Tucker, whom she found throughout the online research, and included the photo. Eventually, it ended up in the hands of a film archivist who, after weeks of research, confirmed the scrolling man's name, an uncredited extra in the film. Not long after, Tucker and the family traveled to California to meet Martin's daughter, who'd been tracked down by researchers working with Tucker on a documentary. Tucker sat down with the woman before her meeting with Ryan. She's been reluctant to help, but during her talk with Tucker, she confirmed dozens of facts Ryan had given about her father. Ryan said he danced in New York. Martin was a Broadway dancer. Ryan said he was also an agent, and that people where he worked had changed their names. Martin worked for years at a well-known talent agency in Hollywood where stage names are often crafted. After his dancing career ended, Ryan said his old address had Roxy in its name. Martin lived at 825th North Roxbury Drive in Beverly Hills. Ryan said he knew a man named Senator 5. Martin's daughter said that she had a picture of her father with a Senator Irving Ives of New York, who served in the US Senate from 1947 to 1959. And yes, Martin had 3 sons. The daughter, of course, knew their names. A 3-year-old boy from Golan Heights near Syria, not only did he claim he had memories from past life, but also that in his past life he had been murdered, where his body and murder weapon could be found, and even that he knew the identity of the person who murdered him. Dr. Eli Lashch, who was a physician in Israel at the time, investigated the case. Because of Dr. Lashch's interest in reincarnation, the child's parents invited him along to check out their son's claims. The group that was tagged along took the boy to 2 cities before entering a third one that the boy claimed to recognize. When they found the village, the boy was able to recall his original first and last names, and the first and last names of his murderer. An individual from the town overheard what they were talking about and said that the name of the boy mentioned, his past self, had gone missing 4 years ago, and that no one had heard from him since. As they continued to check out the village, the boy was able to find his old home. It was while they were walking around that he walked right up to a man and called him by his name, even though he had never met him in his current lifetime. After doing so, he confronted the man by saying, "I used to be your neighbor. We fought and you killed me with an axe." The man turned white and the boy continued with, "I even know where he buried my body." The boy then led everyone away, including the accused murderer, and was able to point out the location where his past life's body was buried and where the murder weapon, an axe, was hidden. With all the evidence, everyone accused the man of the murder, and he confessed. What was particularly interesting was that the mark on the skeleton skull where the axe hit the victims corresponded to the boy's birthmark. This is the end of the first part of the topic of the life after death. Please let me know down in the comments what do you think about these remarkable stories. Thank you so much for hanging out with me, and I'll see you next time. Bye!